Hey guys, welcome back to Wix Fix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In this video, I'll be showing you how I made this clean, minimal, modern, architectural type website. A couple weeks ago, I asked you guys in the community tab if you guys would be interested in purchasing my web designs from my videos if I turn them into full templates with like 4 to 5 pages, desktop and mobile. About 90% of you said yes depending on the design, so this is actually going to be the first template available on my website. The link will be in the description below. If you're a freelancer or agency, then it may be a good idea to start building a library of these custom templates to save you time in the future. Or if you're a small business that maybe doesn't have the time or maybe even skills to follow along with the video and build out custom pages, then it may be beneficial for you to find one of my templates that maybe resonates with your brand, spend a couple hours in filling it out, and then you're all set to go with a brand new website. I also want to mention that when you are buying one of these templates, as of right now, you are helping fund the production of the Wix Fix course. I want the course to be a higher quality than what you see here on the YouTube channel, so any support would be so appreciated. So with that being said, now through July 31st of 2021, this template will be 25% off, and I'll go ahead and throw in my image overlay packs in the media library of the site. As I'm trying to fund the production of the course, I really wanted to find a way that we could get the funding that we need, but also makes it worth it for you guys as well. So I really hope you guys like it and are willing to help support funding the production of the course. And if you look at the background of the website, this is a custom background that I made. So if you can't get the full template, then this background asset will actually be available on my website for like $2. The link to that will be in the description as well. I apologize for the long intro, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so of course on this channel, we always start out with a blank template. And the first thing we want to do is set up the header. So what I want to do is add some content over here to the left and content over here to the right. I don't want to be confined to these little grid lines right here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do first is press add, and we're gonna go to strip. We're gonna go down to classic, and we're gonna drag out this white one right here. Then the first thing I want to do is go ahead and go to the background, and we're gonna go ahead and go to settings, and we're gonna remove the background completely. The next thing I want to do is change the height of this header to about 120 pixels. So I'm gonna come over to the toolbar, go to height, and press in 120. Okay, next what I want to do is go ahead and add a second column. To do that, we're gonna press layouts, add column. Then what we're gonna do is come over to manage columns, and then we're gonna press layout again. And we are going to set this to be 80-20. So I'm gonna press this 20-80 right here, just like that. And now over here, we're gonna put the logo, and then over here, we're gonna put the menu. But the menu, I don't want it to be like in the center. I want it to be more over to the right. So I'm gonna press this column, press the layouts, and then move it to the right. Okay, now our header is basically set up, so we can start adding content to it. Over here to the left, we're gonna add a logo, but our logo is white. So what I want to do is add a blue box here. So I'm gonna come up to add. We're gonna go down to box. We can either choose to use a box, or we can use just like a normal like square icon from the decorative section. So we could just use this one if we wanted to, but I'm just gonna use a box for now. Okay, I'm gonna make the height of it 120 to match our header, and I'm gonna pull it up into the header strip just like that. Okay, next I want to add the logo. So we're gonna go to images, we're gonna go to my uploads, and we're gonna drag it out to the page. We're gonna shrink it down just a little bit, and we're gonna put it inside that box. I think the logo is still a little big, so we're gonna shrink it down just a little bit more. And then what I want to do is pull it over here to the left side of this column, and I'm gonna press the shift and right arrow key 2 times. Next, I want to adjust the size of the box so there's like even spacing on the left and right, just like that. And if you wanted to be very precise, you could click the logo. You can press the shift arrow key and the right arrow key twice, 2 times again, and just make sure they're lined up together. And then you can move the logo back to the center just like that. Okay, next we need to add the menu over here to the left, which if we look at the original design, there's actually a button there. So let's go ahead and start with a button. Go down to add, we're gonna choose a button. We're just gonna drag this one out just like that. And we kind of want it to line up with the logo. Next, we're gonna press design. And we have this one pre-made here from earlier, but I'll just go ahead and customize it once so you guys know what I'm doing. We're gonna completely remove the fill. We're going to come over to border and press 1. Next, we're going to come down to text and we're going to switch it to our font, which is Poppins Light. And then we're going to change the font size to 14. And then the color, obviously, we need it to show up. So we're going to choose this black one right here. And if your border doesn't match, we'll go ahead and make sure that it selects to the black one as well. And then we're going to change the text to start now. And then we are going to link it to the bottom of the page. Because at the bottom of the page where the footer is we're going to put in a contact form so that the users can, well, contact you. So we'll go ahead and press done. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and move it over here to the right. Now, what I'm trying to do is kind of line it up, like add the same amount of spacing here as I see here. So I think here is probably a pretty good space to put it. And next, let's go ahead and add the menu. So we're going to go to add menu, and we're just going to drag out this one right here. And you can see it has our pages already. So if I open up the pages, you're going to see I have like these other pages here. And then we're going to go ahead and line it up right about there because I kind of want the same spacing between here and the button. We're just going to eyeball it. And then of course we want to edit the design, customize the design, and make sure that the font is Poppins Light as well, set to 14 pixels. And then for hover, we want to make sure it's our blue, and clicks, we want it to be our blue as well. Just like that. And now our header is complete, and we're going to go ahead and move it up into the actual header. But as you can see, it doesn't highlight, and that's because our header isn't big enough. Headers typically come standard at 111 height, and our header design is 120 pixels. So we need to make sure that this header is actually set to 120 pixels as well. And now we can move it into the header just like that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and change the background image. So if we look at the original design, it has these nice lines in the background. So we're going to come over to background. We're going to choose image. We're going to find the background and we're going to place it behind. The next thing I want to do is just go ahead and get the footer out the way first. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set this one to 800 pixels. Next, let's go ahead and add a strip. I'm going to come up to strip, classic, pull it out, and we're going to attach it to the footer. We're going to put it up at the top and make sure that it is also set to 800 pixels in height. Next, I'm going to press this stretched icon and give it 100 pixels of margin. So it brings it in a little bit for us. And then I'm going to change the strip background to our blue color. Okay, the next thing I want to do is add some content over here to the left and a contact form over here to the right. So we're actually going to need 2 columns for that. So we're going to press layout, add column, then we're going to press manage columns and press layout again. And we're going to do the 40/60 option right here. So our form is going to go in this section and our contact information will go here. So for the contact information, we just have this lorem ipsum thing that you can change to whatever you need. Then we have the number, email, we got some social links, and then we have the logo. Now let's go ahead and add the contact form. So we're going to go to add, contact, and we're just going to drag out this form right here. And the first thing that you'll notice if we click on the column is that this contact form is too large to fit inside of it. So what we kind of need to do is make sure that everything fits inside. So what I want to do first is I'm going to drag everything over and I'm going to add like 30 pixels of spacing in between them. And then I'm going to shorten this one up so it lines up with the other two. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click everything and drag it all the way to the left. Then I'm going to click the main form element and shrink it down just like that. However, you can see it kind of blocked me because of this button. So we're going to go ahead and shrink down the button, then click the main form and bring it in. And of course, we're blocked again by the thank you message. So we're going to go ahead and just do it again. So now we can drag this in between here just like that. We're going to go ahead and center it up. And then what I want to do is grab this contact us, bring it all the way to the top. And then I want to line this form up with the top of this thing right here, just like that. So now we can go ahead and start editing the form. So I'm going to go ahead and press the form, press design, customize design. Let's start with the form background by removing the color completely. Then we're going to go to input fields. We're going to go to border. We're going to make it white. We're going to make this like 1 pixel instead of 5. Let's go down to fonts. We're going to make everything white here as well. And for the font, of course, we're going to choose Poppins Light, and then we're going to choose 13 pixels, perfect. And then we're going to remove the bold and italics. And we're going to do the same exact thing for the input text as well. Okay, and then if you want to be really thorough, of course, you want to check the hover interactions as well. And the focus one. And of course the air one. Which typically for the air, I just typically like it to be maybe something a little softer something like that. Next, let's go ahead and edit the text. So for this one, we want it to be Poppins. I believe I chose medium for this one. We're gonna remove the bold and italics and make it white. And then for the font size, we're gonna make it 20. And for the button, we're gonna go ahead and press layouts and align the text to the left. Then we're gonna press design text, and we're gonna follow the same procedure of making it Poppins light, making it white. Then we're gonna make the font size 20, and we're gonna remove the bold and italics, and we're gonna move it over to the left. For the thank you message, we're basically gonna follow the same exact steps. Now the footer is complete and we can start doing the fun stuff. So the first thing I want to do is come over to the ad. I'm gonna choose a strip and drag out this classic one right here. We're gonna make this one 900 pixels high. We're gonna change the background. We're gonna click settings and we're gonna remove the background completely. Okay, now that the height is 900, we're gonna go ahead and press layouts and we're gonna add a column. For this left one, we're gonna click the left column, press layouts, and we're gonna align it to the right. The next thing I want to do is come up to add. We're gonna do a box and we're gonna drag out this box right here. We're gonna put it up at the top right. We're gonna make the height 900 pixels and we are going to grab the left side and stretch it the full width of the site. The next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and just drag this up just like that. And this is what we have so far. So the next thing we need to do is add another strip with an image and some text over here on the right side. So let's go ahead and add a strip, classic. We're gonna make this strip about 575 pixels in height, just like that. We're gonna change the background strip and go to settings and remove the color completely. Next, we're gonna go to layout, add column. We're gonna do manage column. We're gonna add another column and then we're gonna choose layout right here. And basically we want this one to be like 16 pixels and the other two to be about 42. And then we're gonna bring this up right above this other strip. And then we're gonna click this middle column. We're gonna change the background to an image. Then we're gonna press this background scroll effect and add some parallax to it. And then over here to the right, we're gonna add some text. And for this text, we wanna make sure it's Poppins medium at 40 pixels in size. And now the hero section of this website is complete. All right, let's go ahead and add another strip right below it. We're gonna leave this one at 400 pixels. And of course, we want to remove the background, just like every other strip we've been using. And all I really wanna do here is add a little bit of text. We want one that's gonna be small and one that's big. For this top one, we wanna make sure that is Poppins light at 16 pixels. And for this bottom one, it's gonna be Poppins medium at 40. And then to add some little elements of design, we're gonna come up to the add icon. We're gonna go to decorative. We're gonna come to more shapes. And I just searched up plus, and we're gonna choose this plus sign right here. We're gonna make this one, this color right here. And of course, we're gonna shrink it down quite a bit. And we're just gonna place it over the lines. And then let's go ahead and copy and paste it. And we'll drag this one over here to the left side. So it just adds a little bit of extra flair or like a little decorative touch. And this section is basically complete. So now we can go ahead and move on to the next one. We're gonna go to add strip and we're just gonna drag out a classic one like normal. For this one, we want it to be about 1,000 pixels in height. And just like all the other strips, we want to remove the background. And then we're gonna go ahead and add another column. And now here we want to add like a number, an image, a title, and then a little paragraph. So let's go ahead and do that. Up here, we're gonna go to add text and we're just gonna drag out like a heading 6. We're gonna do it on this left side first. And we're gonna do this 01, or I guess this one will be the second one. So we're gonna do 02. We're gonna do Poppins light and we're gonna make it 24 pixels in height, just like that. And for now, we're just gonna stick it up right up against the line. The next thing I want to do is go to add. We're gonna go to image. We're gonna find one of our images. Okay, we're gonna make this one about 500 pixels in size and it should be 350 in height. Okay, and we're just gonna drag it over here. We're gonna put it under this little number 2. Then we're gonna press the shift and down arrow key 3 times to move it 30 pixels down. Next, we wanna add another heading. So this one, maybe we can choose heading 4. We're gonna put it right up against this image and we're gonna move it down 30 pixels again. Maybe for this one, we can do 40. And then of course, right here, we want to do Poppins light and we're gonna set it to 24 pixels. We're gonna go ahead and expand the width a little bit so that our heading can be a little bit longer. And now let's go ahead and add our paragraph. So we're gonna come up to text, pull out a paragraph. And for this one, we're gonna do about 40 pixels down just again. We're gonna make it the same width as our title. I'm gonna go ahead and paste in the text and we're gonna make this Poppins light just like everything else. We're gonna make this one 16 pixels large. And then we're gonna scroll down to character and line spacing. We're gonna press customize on line spacing, and then we're gonna do like 2.9. Let's go ahead and select all of these elements and press group. We're gonna move it up a little bit to be about right here. And then let's go ahead and just copy and paste this group. We're gonna move this one over here to the right column, put it inside that column, make sure it's lined up with the other one. And then for this one, of course, we wanna change the number, we wanna change the image, and of course, you're gonna want to change the title and the content inside of it. And this section is complete. And we can go ahead and start moving on to the next one. So let's start by pressing add. We're gonna go to strip and drag out a basic strip again. For this one, we want it to be like 950 pixels high, and we want to add 3 columns. Let's go ahead and start by pressing layouts, add column, manage columns, and we're gonna add another one. Then let's go ahead and press layouts. And for this one, we want this left one to be around 15 pixels, and then the next one to be about 30 pixels. For this left column, what we want to do is go ahead and make it blue. For this middle one, we want to add an image. And then of course we want to go to background scroll effects and add some parallax. And for this right one, we're going to make this one an image as well. And what we want to do is choose this background top one because it has a line on the top. And then what we want to do is go into settings, and we want the picture to be positioned at the top. That way the line right here shows. So if I press preview, you're gonna notice the line right here. Okay, and then right over here on the left-hand side, we want to add some vertical text over here on the left-hand side, and then we want to add some text over here on the right as well. And let's say this is the text that we want to add to this left-hand side. Obviously, we want to make it white, something like that. And then we want to make it negative 90 degrees. And let's say we just put it over here like that. If you notice in the top middle of the editor, you're going to notice it says add to page. And that is because even though this element is vertical, the editor still considers it horizontal. So there is not enough space in this column for this content that is this wide to fit in here. So it's a little bit annoying. So what we actually have to do is kind of split it into several different parts. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it. For this second one, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the lorem ipsum part of it. And then for this first one, we're gonna remove the second half of it. Okay, and then for both of these, we're gonna lower it down quite a bit. Then we're gonna put these on top of each other like this. And now if we move these into this section, it should work. And then you can just group these together, and then we can center it up inside the column, just like that. So I know it's a little bit of a roundabout way to do it, but you gotta make it work somehow. Now let's go ahead and add some content over here to the left. For this top one, we made it Poppins Light 24. For this middle one, we chose Poppins Semi-Bold 24 with a 1.9 line spacing. Then for this paragraph text down here, we made it Poppins Light 24 with 1.9 line spacing. Okay, the next thing I want to do is add a little line element right here. So let's go ahead and press add. We're gonna go to decorative. I'm gonna scroll up to lines, and we're just gonna drag out this one right here. We don't need this one to be very large, so we're just gonna make it 100 pixels, and we're gonna rotate it 90 degrees. We wanna line it up with this text right here, but then we want to align it to the bottom of the strip, just like that. Okay, now this section is complete, so we can go ahead and move on. So we're going to add, we're going to do strip classic. For this one, we're going to leave it at 400 pixels in height, and we're going to change the background to an image. And for this one, we're going to choose the background option with the line at the bottom. Then we're going to go to settings and position the image at the bottom. That way the line actually shows up. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is press layouts, and we're going to add a column. For both of these columns, we're going to go ahead and line the content to the left, just like that. Over here, we want to add a title with a little accent. And then right here, we want to add a button that is lined up with this line from the previous section. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go to add, we're going to go to decorative, and I'm just going to pull out this blue box right here. We're going to press design and make sure it's our blue and not the default blue. We want this one to be about like 20 pixels in width, and we want the height to be around 150, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and center it up in the column and align it to the left. Okay, then we're going to add some text here. That's 3 lines. We're going to make it Poppins medium and 40 pixels. And then what I want to do is just come up to the header. We're going to select this button and copy it. You can press Command C or Control C on PC, or you can just right click and press copy. We're going to come down all the way here into this section, and we're going to press paste. And we're gonna line it up with the text from the left, and we're gonna line it up with the button right here. Okay, that looks pretty good. And this section is done. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and press add to add the next strip or section. And for this one, we are going to make it about 900 pixels high. We're going to remove the background color so the background of the page shows. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and press layouts and add a column. For this left one, we want to align it to the right, and for this right column, we want to align it to the left. So right over here, we want to add an image, and then on the right side, we want to add some text. So let's go ahead and press add. We're gonna go to image. We're gonna choose this one right here. Okay, we're gonna line it over here. We're gonna make this image pretty large. We want the image height to be around 700, but then we want the width to be around 580. We'll go ahead and press crop. We're gonna zoom in quite a bit, and then we're gonna drag this left-hand side till it's about 580. Okay, perfect. And then if you want, you can zoom out and then position the image wherever you want and press apply. Next, let's go ahead and center the image to the strip, and we're gonna align it to the right, just like that. Now let's go ahead and add some text over here. So for the top text, we want it to be Poppins semi-bold 24. For this little category one, we want it to be Poppins light 16 pixels. And for this little description, we want it to be Poppins light 16 pixels as well, with 1.8 line spacing. Actually, let's go ahead and make it 1.9 to be consistent with some other elements on the site. And we want to make sure that the bottom of this lines up with the bottom of the image. Okay, and we are done with this section. However, the next section is very similar to this, just with a different layout. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is select this strip. We're gonna press copy and paste. We're gonna move it down to where it's right underneath the other strip, just like that. And then what I want to do is go ahead and press manage columns, and we're gonna add a third column. For this middle one, we won't need the text in here. And in fact, we kind of just want the image in here. So we'll just go ahead and drag this image over here to this third column. For the left-hand side, we want the text. So we're gonna go ahead and move this over here. The description will stay on the right-hand side. The first thing I want to do is with the center column, we're gonna press layouts and press align to the right. And we're gonna make sure that the image is in here, and we're going to center it up horizontally, and we're gonna move it all the way to the right. For this text, we're just gonna make sure it's aligned with the bottom of the image, just like that. And then for this text, we're just gonna bring it up right about here. And of course, we want to change the image. So we're gonna come over here, change image, and we're gonna choose this one right here. And that is basically it for the desktop version of the site. Now, of course, you don't want to forget about mobile. However, in these web design videos, I feel like I'm repeating myself a ton going over mobile. So on Wednesday, I'm actually going to be releasing a video about all the steps that I do for mobile web design. That way, in my future web design videos, I just don't feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again. In fact, the Wednesday mobile web design video is actually going to be based on this website that you're seeing right now. So make sure you're subscribed to know when that video is released. But that basically wraps it up for the video today, guys. If you did find this video useful or cool in any way, I challenge you guys to subscribe to the channel because it helps the channel grow. Also, go ahead and give the video a like. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.